Okay, hello, Patreon supporters. We're not wasting any time this week because it is Thanksgiving week, and yeah,
Yes.
obviously we're really busy, and so we're not giving up on you. We got to
No.
still provide that quality entertainment, but I don't know why you said it like that.
That was so funny.
It's like
Okay.
quality entertainment, but yeah, we don't want to we since we are on tight time schedules, we want to get it started so that way we don't have to shortchange you later with it. But of course, Craig
Yeah.
here, along with Denny, is back.
Hello.
Hello,
Here.
and I don't know, Denny.
You don't know?
I don't know.
What don't you know?
What don't I know? A lot.
Where do we start?
Oh, yeah, I know. I don't know a lot, but I think we're gonna have a
No.
little bit of fun today. So I think we should start off. I love how you hosted the last show, and now I'm hosting this one. It's like
Your turn.
we're switching the
Tag,
tables.
you're
Yep,
it.
tag. So Denny, how was your week?
My week is so far so good. My week has been good. I literally so we can we talk? I
Yeah,
feel like Joan Rivers. Can we talk?
let's chat.
We we are hosting Thanksgiving, and this is not something that normally occurs. We hosted 2 years ago, I think, or was it 3 years ago? 2 years ago for the very first time. And usually my in-laws host it, and my mom-in-law is just an amazing cook.
Hmm.
And but they've been gone, they've been traveling, and so they're back now. But we kind of said, oh, we'll do Thanksgiving. Like Brian and I said, oh yeah, no, we'll do it, no problem. Which I love having people over. I love having people in my house, and so I'm excited about that. But we also said, oh, and we'll do the turkey. No, no problem. Craig, my mom-in-law, for these many years, has done the turkey, and she even offered to do it this year. And goofballs that we were said, no, we got it. So while I do believe we've got it and we physically have it, it's in the fridge,
Yeah.
but I am nervous about this whole turkey thing. So that's kind of looming in the distance. How are you doing this week?
I'm okay. So my Thanksgiving dilemma is really around when I'm actually even going to get to cook Thanksgiving
Oh,
dinner. So I've
hmm.
said it a little bit before here and there, but my parents now live in Florida,
Okay.
and then also my wife Kylie, her family, pretty much all of her family lives in Florida. So for the first time ever now, we are dealing with the okay, we have family, all of our family is in the same place, and how do we split up holidays? So we get to deal with that, which has
Oh,
never been a
that's
problem before.
hard.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
Thanksgiving was always her, specifically her side, because my parents never came down. They came down one time during Thanksgiving, and we did Thanksgiving dinner at our house, and went all out with it. It was lovely, but it kind of just flip flopped between if we went up to Georgia for her other side of her family or just stayed down here. Some years we didn't do any family at all, and
Mm.
because she would have to work back when she was in her older positions at Universal, Thanksgiving, working on Thanksgiving wasn't a maybe, that was the reality. So on those years I would cook and drink way too much wine, and then she would go into work not drinking wine.
Okay.
I
That's
just
good.
need to point that out there. That would be irresponsible. However, there was one year I I had a I had an evening shift at Forbidden Journey, and I you never wanted to call in on the holidays because you lost out on your holiday pay, not
Yes.
just for that day, but also the day after.
Mm.
And in this case, it would have, like, for Thanksgiving, you call in on Thanksgiving, you lose out on your extra 8 hours because of Thanksgiving, and then also because of Black Friday, because that was a paid holiday with Universal. And
Oh,
so that's
nice.
16 to call out on Thanksgiving. You lose out on 16 hours of pay for no work whatsoever. I mean, obviously if you go in,
Well,
but
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
you lose out on it. So I was making the turkey and drank one bottle of wine by myself, and then it was like, oh, well, now it's time for, because I started cooking at like 8 in the morning, and so it was a long day, and then it's like I
Did you
realized,
start drinking the wine at 8 a.m.?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
No, I
oh my
the second I start cooking Thanksgiving is the second that I open up bottles of Beaujolais Nouveau. It is the wine that's released every third November,
okay.
third Thursday of November. It's released, and it's best when you drink it as fresh as possible because of the style of the wine. And so that is my Thanksgiving tradition. I will start drinking wine as soon as I start cooking. But in that case, it was a long cook day, and then I realized like, oh shoot, I maybe had too much and have to go into work. And luckily, luckily this is when I lived at the apartments at Universal, so it was just a walk into work.
Oh, good.
It was not a drive because I that's irresponsible. So I walked in, and then I realized like it did not all even hit me yet. So by the time we're sitting down for the shift meeting, I'm like, oh my gosh,
I'm in
I'm in
trouble.
trouble. Luckily, so many people called in. There was only two of us that was control booth trained, and so because of that, I was guaranteed to be in the control booth and just frozen there for the entire shift. And at Forbidden Journey, there was two positions. One, you're in charge of monitoring all the vehicles, like as they're moving and making sure that they've been tagged correctly to leave the station and come back, or tagged to go to the secondary station where they load wheelchairs and such. It was like, so that was like, you were the driver. You were in charge of driving that attraction. And then
Wow.
the other role, you sat there and you just watched the cameras. So you've done Forbidden Journey, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. So
Yep.
like you had cameras on every inch of the attraction, including a camera in each of the carousels, the movie screens that you go into and you're
Hmm.
riding around. Those are 6 different screens on a carousel circle. And so the vehicles fly into them and then move around with them. And that's how that effect works. And there's a
Goodness.
camera right in the middle of that looking at you through every moment. So when you're picking your nose, when you're grabbing the person beside you, their
Yes.
legs, we're watching every second of it. However, that's also when you throw up all over that screen in the camera,
Oh,
we're also watching. And so I recovered from that long morning of drinking, just watching cameras like a mindless zombie. And that was one of the strangest Thanksgivings I ever had. So that was a long story in it of itself to say that, yeah, I forget where I went with all that.
it was your it was your Thanksgiving when you were making your turkey and
Well,
you started off. So
yeah.
it,
So, but I remember we were talking about. I was saying the dilemma with what we're
yes.
gonna do for family. Oh, that was me saying that some years we don't do anything at all. We just do our own thing, and then it went
Yeah.
into the massive off the rails tangent there. Oh, there we go. And yeah, so this year I think like Christmas we will deal with that later and try to figure
Yeah.
out that nonsense. But for Thanksgiving, I think we're doing my parents for lunch, Kylie's
Okay.
family for dinner. Then
Yep.
on Friday, I might cook at night, but you and I are going to go to Festival of the Holidays. Not
Yes.
necessarily together. I don't want to say it like that. We
Yeah.
both happen to make plans to be there, so we will
Hmm.
inevitably run into each other and spend time together, but
Hmm.
it's not
Hmm.
not no obligations as well
Yeah.
too. So I might cook Thanksgiving on Friday night, or I might wait till Saturday because I will be watching Ohio State football on
Oh,
Saturday. So yeah, it's
okay.
yeah, I still have to figure out all of that, but I have to still cook a full meal because I need my leftovers.
Oh, sure
And
you do.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
so
We got a big enough turkey to be able to have those leftovers. Like I want to be able to send people home with leftovers, and we would like some leftovers as
yeah.
well.
So
Um,
full menu. You have turkey. What else are you doing? I mean,
yes. So and thank you to everybody who is suggesting brines and Trey. If I need to, I will head over to Millennia to the Williams Sonoma and get and get that brine. I appreciate that. We're going to do Emerald's classic roast turkey recipe. That is the one for which I have ingredients, at least most of them. Tonight, Lord willing, will have all of them in my possession. So yes, the turkey we're doing a very good sweet potato casserole. My mom-in-law is making and bringing that. Hoop-de-doo cornbread, a dear family friend who has joined us for Thanksgiving before, is bringing that, which is 2 thumbs up. Green beans, which I must make tomorrow so that I can reheat them on Thanksgiving, because green beans are always better the second day.
Agree.
Okay, good. And then I'll be doing, let's see, what's the other thing? Stovetop stuffing, because we got to it's not Thanksgiving without stovetop stuffing. I don't want your fancy dressing. No, I don't want your fancy dressing. I don't want your fancy stuffing. But Brian's grandmother, God rest her soul, used to make oyster dressing. No.
I had that a couple times when I went over to Corey's house for Thanksgiving. And because I guess that's how they do it in Louisiana. They do oyster dressing. Louisiana. Mm-hmm. It was good. Not for me, though. But at the same time, too, Denny, you are the host of Saturday Snacks. Stovetop stuffing is... Next thing we need to expect from Saturday Snacks: how to open up a bag of cookies and throw them on a tray and cook them.
That's right. That might happen. That might happen. It's got to be stovetop stuffing. I want that red box. Okay. I want the original. I want the chicken one. Like, don't give me the cornbread version or the turkey version. I want the chicken version. So that's that. Fair enough. So then, what else are we having? There's something else. And then I'm doing a charcuterie for appetizers.
Of course you are.
And I'm making guacamole. Speaking of Saturday Snacks, there will be guacamole in the future. I made it last week or the week before last, and I will be making it again. Like, it's so good. It will be a part of our Thanksgiving celebration. Yeah. It's Paradiso 37's guacamole recipe, and it is the bomb. Yep. So that will be on the apps. And then a key lime pie. My mom-in-law is making a key lime pie, and she's not a Patreon member, so I can say this. I will be making her Chef Art Smith's hummingbird cake. So that the Southern Living hummingbird cake is a family tradition started by her dad, Brian's grandfather. So I get to carry that on. And that's due because her birthday is tomorrow. And her dad used to make her a hummingbird cake on her birthday.
Oh, that's nice.
So I get to do that. But what about you? What's on your table?
Well, first off, I have to ask you, no pumpkin pie even with it?
No, I don't want your pumpkin pie. I'm sorry. I know, it's disgusting, isn't it? I don't like pumpkin pie as much as like a key lime or other things. I will take 2 bites of a pumpkin pie, and that'll be in there.
I grew into pumpkin pie. I will say that. I wasn't always a huge fan. And I don't remember what year. I think it was it had to be around when after I graduated college. So sometime around 2010 when I worked at kind of a diner style chain in Pennsylvania called King's. Cool. I would, it's on your shift and you have food to eat, and that would include pumpkin pie during the holiday season, and you eat it. And that's when I really started enjoying it. And I will say then I always had troubles making it. I never got the right consistency, never found the right recipe. And then last year during the pandemic, we became huge fans of Molly Ye's cooking on Food Network, Girl Meets Farm. If you haven't watched it, it's quirky. She basically, for the most part, her shtick is she mixes her Chinese background with her Jewish background and kind of blends it, but also her husband is like not a beet farmer, but like he's a farmer of like 10 different things throughout the year, so they're also very Midwestern. They're in like one of the Dakotas, I think. So it's a lot of like it's a lot of Midwestern comfort food, and then every now and then it'll be like some Chinese food thrown in, some Jewish classics and
That's cool.
delicacies thrown in as well too. And we watched her Thanksgiving episode and saw her pumpkin pie and said, "Okay, we are going to try to make that." And it was, not only did it come out perfectly, it was absolutely incredible. Like literally
Mm.
it had to go buy the $20 vanilla beans and scrape out all of
Yes.
that, and just to get the real authentic vanilla flavor, and
Yep.
all those little things just made the difference
Yes.
entirely. So I'm doing
Okay.
that. I will do another one of her recipes that we stole was from her Thanksgiving episode. Instead of doing green bean casserole, because it's a staple, but it's been done. We do
Right.
it Brussels sprouts. So
Oh.
Brussels
Oh.
sprouts, um, scallions, and
Okay.
then you kind of like just saute those down in the butter, do your flour, and then use the blend of heavy cream and such. Kind of make
Mhm.
your own your own cream sauce to go on it, and
Nice.
out of this world with Brussels sprouts. So if you ever say like, "Oh, I want to try that, but I don't want green bean casserole," try
Yeah.
it with Brussels sprouts.
Okay.
So we're gonna do that: mashed potatoes,
Uh,
actual stuffing, not stovetop variety.
What's okay? So what's your stuffing? What do you do?
Stuffing, what I do, it's kind of what I just took my mom's recipe from it, because
Mhm.
it's very basic, but literally just open up the bread. She does fresh bread. I don't like that. I like a little bit crunchier, so I'll open up
Yeah.
the bread probably tomorrow and let it start to get stale. And at that point, then on Thanksgiving Day, I'll rip it apart
Hmm.
and get it all together, season it, salt, pepper, sage, thyme. That's kind of what I use all together in there. And then just basically melt a stick of butter on a skillet, and then throw on some chicken broth, and that will make the wet part of it, and then pour that into with the stuffing and make the ball, and I cook that. I never stuff it inside the turkey. So I know it's
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
dressing, but
No. No.
so that's all I do. And it's basically sage, salt, and pepper that dominates the flavor, but it
Okay.
works. And then for my turkey, I'm very simple. I know people are telling you like brining and stuff.
Hmm. Hmm.
Honestly, I don't go down the wormhole of brining and stuff. I don't think it's necessary personally if you know how to cook the turkey well. So what I'll do with turkey is obviously season it heavily with many different things. My base is butter. I will usually use
Ain't
about two
nothing wrong
sticks.
with butter.
Yeah, 2 sticks of butter. Cover the outside of the turkey in it. You lift up that
Okay.
skin. You get it on the under the skin as well. You get
Hmm.
it in the cavity. Like a butterball turkey is truly the name of it. Even if it's not a butterball brand, you get that thing buttered up like nothing else. And
Okay.
then I'll use like Tony Chachere's Cajun seasoning for a lot
Mhm.
of it. Make sure I start stuffing a lot of garlic and rosemary all throughout it, as all little extra sage and thyme, just to
Yep.
kind of bring together the floral side of it. I'll get it nice and herby, and just at that point, then I don't use any of the oven bags or anything that they sell for it. I literally
Right.
just do butter up a bunch of aluminum foil and
Okay.
make a tent essentially, and
Yep.
make sure that you cook it like that for the most part. Once it gets close to about the time that it should be done, and you're checking that temperature like 10 degrees off, then I'll open up the foil, start to crisp the outside of the skin, and get it that perfect consistency. And then when it's finished, take it out, and for the rest period, turn it upside down so that all of the juices start to sink back in to the white meat, especially with
You
the
turn it
breast.
upside down?
Yep. So I again,
Okay.
what I found out on Food Network, I watch a lot
Ugh.
of Food Network. Uh,
Hashtag thank you, Food Network.
exactly, but one of the people on there described it once as that the turkey is kind of like a snow globe, that you'll shake it up, and that's what you're doing. You're shake When you cook it, the juices are all shaking up, so that way it gets all around. But then when you let it rest, eventually all the snow or all the juice settles down to the bottom. So then you're more likely to dry out your white meat on top. So just rest it upside down.
Oh,
And some people also say cook it upside down so the juice always goes straight down into it originally. But the last time I tried that, it took like an hour and a half longer to cook it in general,
oh,
and I didn't like the results from that.
okay,
So, and
okay.
then always, always making sure to have it a little bit elevated in whatever pan you cook it in, so that way the heat
Okay.
circulates all around. But that's that from just general cooking.
Yep.
But and Michael, I apologize. Celery and onion, I left that out of my stuffing recipe as well too.
You need
I was like, why when I do the butter and
bread
that
and
on
butter.
there, why don't yeah, I'm like, why I feel like there's something else that goes in there and I forget. Yeah, I'm obviously softening up the onions and the celery in the butter and then adding the chicken broth on there and then put it on.
Very cool.
Oh gosh. Embarrassed.
Oh, it's all good.
Yeah.
So, what desserts will you all have? I mean, pumpkin pie, yes.
Just pumpkin. Just pumpkin pie.
That's all you need.
We do have. I only half joked about the whole store bought cookie thing. Rick been opened the packet too. I just
Uh-huh.
picked up some of the Nestle's Tool House peppermint cocoa cookies. So we will.
What?
Yeah, yeah. We will want to
Okay.
transition from on Thanksgiving Day into full fledged Christmas. So we'll probably have a little bit of peppermint, but yeah, I don't. In terms of
Yum.
Thanksgiving, I like just doing. I like doing. Um, I like pumpkin pie. My dad's gross. He likes doing like an orange fluff with the where you
Ooh,
Cool Whip and Jello, then mixed in with like the little small oranges, not
mandarin
clement,
oranges?
mandarin. Thank you,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
I think like one other fruit, and he likes that. I don't really care for that, but he also likes the salad where you cut up apples and grapes and mayonnaise and all that.
Waldorf.
Yeah,
Isn't
Waldorf.
it Waldorf?
No, is it Waldorf?
No.
It's something like that. Either
Yeah.
way, it's gross. So
It's grandma salad. That's it's like salad your grandma would
yeah,
always make, and it would be on the
and
table.
I think
And
that's why he likes it. So we're not. Yeah, so we stick with the basic pumpkin pie.
good.
Once you get messy with other desserts, then it gets crazy. And
Uh,
then the holiday season, I will go all out with my peppermint desserts and such. So yeah,
Peppermint is just the best. I can never get too much peppermint. Never ever. Like peppermint bark, fantastic. I would like to eat gobs of it.
yeah.
So, and I normally do every
Yeah,
Christmas.
I usually try to take a recipe for a different peppermint dessert every year and adapt it because Kylie will always have potlucks at work, and
Uh,
I have won her the potluck best dessert now I think twice.
oh my
Um,
gosh.
it's I don't know if they're all just terrible or if I'm just like or if no one else actually brings something, so she just automatically wins. But the last one around, I did an awesome uh, kind of a peppermint cheesecake dip that then
Ooh,
you added a little bit of peppermint flavor into some cream cheese and then whip that all up, a little confectioner sugar as well in there, and then added in some candy cane chunks, so break apart your candy canes and mix that in and then serve it with just simple the chocolate graham crackers and have that as the scoop, and like so so good. But yeah, I'll start making random stuff like that.
that sounds so good. Do they know that you are the one who is making all of these? Okay, as
Yes.
long as
Yeah.
it's hysterical.
Yeah.
I love that.
Oh, I also someone else, Brandy brought it up too. I also do a cranberry sauce as well.
Oh, yes.
I call it
Okay.
my Publix brand cranberry
Yes.
sauce. So, do you know the one in the containers at Publix, the cranberry orange relish?
Yes. Uh-huh.
So,
Yeah.
I always was just buying that, which is like $5 for a tub, and I eat it all. It's delicious, but eventually I was like, they put preservatives or and other stuff in it. Why don't I just learn to make that on my own. And
Mhm.
so I looked up the recipes, and sure enough, it is literally just basically cranberries, and you cook them down in orange or in water or orange juice, add
That's
sugar,
cool.
add extra orange juice, and then that's all you do. And it makes an
Wow, that's awesome.
awesome, awesome cranberry relish. Perfect for
That's so
those
cool.
turkey sandwiches.
Oh, that's awesome. That's very cool. We are just as basic with our cranberry sauce as we are with our stuffing. It is literally the cranberry sauce from a can. That's what I grew up on, and I love it very, very
Mm.
much. Although I could totally see myself trying to do the cranberry orange relish thing in lieu of buying that at the store because that sounds like fun. Like that's something I would really, really enjoy. We don't eat a lot of cranberries for,
Yeah.
during our meals, but yeah, it is something you kind of have to have. It's a relish. You want to have it there. So I could
Yeah.
totally see doing that.
I
I know Jackie was doing cranberries over the weekend. She was making her
yeah.
cranberries.
I
Yeah.
literally only I only do it for the sandwiches. Like I'll put a
Yeah.
little bit of it on my plate on Thanksgiving, but it's like, when you eat so many Earl of
Holiday
holiday
sandwiches.
sandwiches, like you mold your brain into saying if there's not cranberry on it, then it's missing the sweetness of the sandwich,
Yeah.
that tartness to it. So yeah, I just make it solely for the leftovers, not necessarily for the first part.
There you go. It's
Uh,
like a gift to your future self.
yeah, you absolutely are right. So I saw Encanto.
Oh, wait, did you really? I haven't seen
Mhm.
it yet.
It
What did
was
you think?
it was one of the parts of the Destination D23. Everyone got to see a sneak peek of it.
Oh,
So,
very cool.
and I will say I didn't really mention it in
That's right, because it doesn't come out till this weekend, right?
yeah, it comes out on
Okay.
Wednesday.
Oh,
So
Wednesday.
I will
Okay.
just say I was not a fan of it.
Okay. Really?
Yeah, I think it is
Ugh.
in the I start with Tangled because
Okay.
I think that's when the turning point happened, was basically with Tangled. I think besides Wreck It Ralph and Wreck It Ralph 2, it's
Hmm.
probably the most forgettable Disney
Oh,
movie that they
crap.
made. Like, it's just I think a lot of people enjoy it. It's great to have that new representation for Colombians
Hmm.
especially, but it just my main issue was with it truly came down to the music, came down to the songs. Is that with a Disney musical, part of the fun in it is that the words to all those songs, but even like Lin Manuel Miranda wrote them in such a complicated way that you can't even like really memorize them after the first or second or third time of seeing it.
Mm.
Whereas whereas like I don't think that's just always his style, because I obviously look at Moana.
Hmm.
Very, very easy. Very
Yes,
easy.
absolutely.
Um with even Hamilton in the Heights.
Hmm.
I know pretty much every single word of Hamilton by heart.
Hmm.
I know most of In the Heights. I would say at least three-quarters of it. I will learn it all one day. But this movie, I've listened to the soundtrack times. I cannot track all but one song.
Oh, rats.
So it just, and I didn't really care about a lot of the characters.
Mm.
So it fell flat for me.
Oh, Craig. I mean, I'm gonna see it.
Yeah.
That's what we got to see, Ghostbusters Afterlife, which
So fun.
was so good. So good. If you are a fan of the original, please go see this movie. It's
Yeah.
so good. Um, but yeah, Rats on Encanto.
Yeah. I don't know. So with Ghostbusters, I don't even know if it's a great movie, but it
Hmm.
was fan service in the finest, and I
It
had
was.
so much fun watching it. In
Hmm.
terms of like a reboot remake, I don't, and this was technically a true sequel, but also given the potential to reboot the entire series if they
Yes.
wanted to. I don't remember the last time I've had so much fun in a
Hmm.
movie. It just, I had a smile on my face the entire time, even when things were like kind of bad, like the infamous Walmart scene, which it's not really ruining it.
Yes.
It's been in the trailers and stuff, but Paul Rudd experiences the little Stay Puft Marshmallow Men in Walmart, and like it is some of the worst brand marketing in a movie that you could ever expect, but it was so enjoyable. It was so much
They
fun.
were they're so
Yeah.
sweet. Those little until, they're not sweet, but man, they're so cute. Yeah, no, you're right. It was just a joy-filled movie, and it was completely fan service, but it was done in a very respectful way, and it was literally everything that us fans want, just about, within reason.
Yeah.
Um, wanted. So it was fun, and getting to see the familiar all over again, because that's a movie that I totally remember, walking into the theater and seeing with my family in '84. That was just so cool, because I saw
Love
it
it.
here in Florida because we were visiting my grandparents at the
Oh,
time. So
wow.
yeah,
That's
pretty
cool. Very cool.
pretty nifty.
Yeah.
So they did such a great job. Well, I hold out hope for
Yeah.
Encanto. I like the color palette that I've seen thus far in all the, trailers and teasers and such. It looks visually very, very
Yeah.
appealing. So,
Yeah, this the story's not very deep though. That's what I'll
okay.
say. Is that
Okay.
the trailers, I mean, essentially tell you is the
Mhm.
what is the conflict in the story. There's no actual villain in it, which is very nice. I always
Oh.
appreciate a movie when they don't just stick the villain in for having it, just for normal story structure. But
Mhm.
they tell you the issue that's going to happen in the trailer, and the problem is like I don't feel like they ever truly resolve it. I mean, they do
Mm,
resolve it. I don't feel like it feels like it's a lot of build up to a problem that just resolves very easily rather than really dealing with a lot of the issue at heart. And
okay.
but I'm sure in a couple weeks I will hear back from everyone out there and say,
Yes.
you need to just watch it and like it. Stop complaining. Be like, well, I told you I liked
Uh,
Ghostbusters and I turned my head off
that's
for
right.
that. I can easily do that. And I tried to turn my head off for this one, but it's just, Disney's on a hot streak with movies. And even something
Hmm.
like Zootopia that I don't enjoy, I still can sit down and say that's a better movie than this. I just did not care for it, but this one just wasn't great. But
Oi.
for me, for me.
Rats.
But have you watched
Rats.
anything else?
Let's see. I watched Afterlife. What did we? Oh my gosh. So I am preparing for Spider-Man No Way Home. I am preparing. And part of that preparation is that I am going back, starting with Sam Raimi, yes, iteration of Spider-Man, to watch the Spider-Mans who have gone before. And I watched Tobey Maguire's original Spider-Man. I watched that when it came out. I remember seeing that movie. So I watched that and pretty much remember the whole 9 yards. I'm in the middle of Spider-Man 2 right now. And I've never seen this movie before. Doc Ock, I've not seen it. But it does appear that it would be good to have a bit of a rewatch before December
Yeah.
17th.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing. So that's currently what I'm in the middle of.
Okay. So you're going through all of them. Just make sure you don't
Hmm.
bounce around like you did for
I
Bond.
know. Well, and that's part of what I've done over the past week. I've actually gone back and rewatched some of the Daniel Craig Bond movies. So I did see them all, but it was in that jumbled format, jumbled fashion.
Yeah.
And so I went back and rewatched Skyfall and Spectre within the last, I don't know, week and a couple of days. And there were big things. I don't know what I was doing when I was originally watching them, but I missed big
Yeah.
things
I bet.
that
I bet. So
I
and
now
hey,
caught.
Thanksgiving week is the perfect time to watch a Bond.
There,
It is.
well, and I told Brian the other day I might want to go back to see No Time to Die
Yeah.
again.
I mean I've said it. I like growing up, that's what I remember is that James Bond came out on the Wednesday night of Thanksgiving. I can remember in
Oh.
I was probably in eighth or ninth grade when I think it would have been not The World Is Not Enough, but Die Another Day, the one with
Okay.
Pierce Brosnan and Halle
Hmm.
Berry. Like I remember
Hmm.
going with my friends to see it, because we were done with school and we had a couple
Yay.
days off, and so we went to see Bond at night. So it's the
Wow.
perfect time of year for catching up on Bond. But
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
I watched Tick Tick Boom on Netflix. I
Oh, I
recommend that.
haven't watched it yet.
It's good.
What I've heard good
Yep.
things.
It's still in the Lin Manuel family,
I
obviously. His
know.
first directorial debut. I think.
Hmm.
Are you a fan of Rent? Not that that
Yes, we
matters. This has
we
nothing to do
saw it
with
on
Rent.
Broadway. Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, we saw it and loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Yeah.
So, absolutely. That'll be great. Okay. So that's on the I know that's on the list. Um there's a lot of things on the list right now. I am looking forward to Hawkeye tomorrow for sure.
Yeah. I They had a screening of the first two episodes on Saturday as part of the event, but I left. I was like,
Oh,
I can't not watch it with Kylie. So
yeah.
I didn't. I'm very excited to watch it tomorrow night.
Yeah, they have been hyping that like crazy. I
Yeah.
hope it's fantastic. I
I
really
think it will
do.
be. I think it will
Yeah.
be. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot coming out. Very short
Mhm.
time. House of Gucci in theaters.
I'm so
Yeah.
I'm so looking forward to House of Gucci. Lady Gaga, bless her
Yeah.
heart, she really can do just about
Yeah.
anything.
I want to sit with that accent for 2.5 hours. I think it's
Yes.
2 hours and 37 minutes. I looked at the runtime the other day and I was
Oh
like,
my
I
gosh.
will. Yeah. I'll need every
Well,
effort of energy for that.
an Adam Driver can do no wrong in my mind. So I don't care what although I haven't seen his latest with Matt Damon. I have
The
not
Last Duel,
watched, yes,
also
The Last Duel.
also directed by Ridley Scott. So two Ridley
I
Scott
tell you.
movies with Adam Driver in it that came out within 2 months of each other, and both were over 2.5 hours long.
Oh my
Uh, I
gosh.
did see The Last Duel, and
Okay.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
Good.
Adam Driver was he did good in the movie, but it's
Good.
I don't want to spoil it. I know you'll watch it one day,
No, no, no.
so
That's okay.
yeah. But
Do love Adam
yeah.
Driver. Bless him.
Okay, so
Mm.
I know we always go through our movie talk and all that. We're
Yeah.
just about wrapped up here, but should we do like a Thanksgiving surprise and bring someone on real quick?
Oh, let's do it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we'll
That'd
do
be
it
so
real
much fun.
quick. So, first person that's never done this before and been on. So, obviously, Mary Jo and Trey, you do not count for this. If you want to join us on Skype, you have to have Skype. You have to have a good internet connection. Please, please, please leave first person to leave their Skype name in here. I will add them to the call. So, and we'll see if I can dig out my Disney list of questions. If not, we'll just ask them what they're
Drum
cooking
roll,
for
please.
Thanksgiving. And if the answer is nothing,
Hey,
then that will be the quickest
that's
one of
okay.
these that we ever do. So,
Exactly. Exactly. Enough said right there. Nothing.
exactly.
That sounds good.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Denny.
I've
Yeah,
seen another
Trey,
movie
you've
recently. I'm
never
trying
been
to
in
remember.
this show, but you
Trey.
have been on. It's our chance to meet someone we've never met before. So someone we don't know. And
A
yeah,
new friend.
a new friend.
Hmm.
And if no one volunteers,
That's okay.
that's fine. That's fine too.
That's okay.
I'll leave it for a couple seconds. Do people use Skype? We do for work.
Yes, people still use Skype. This is brought to you by Skype. For sure. Hey, if you all are coming down and you're going to give Kids the World for Night of a Million Lights, take the tram tour. Make sure to give the Diz and Dreams Unlimited Travel Villa a wave as you pass by
Yeah.
on the tram tour.
Exactly.
It's just everything is so beautiful. I mean, it was so beautiful last year, everything that team has done,
Mhm.
but it's amazing. If you miss Osborne Spectacle of Dancing Lights, it's living. Its younger sibling is at Give Kids a World.
I cannot wait to see it. I will see it soon. But okay,
Great.
we have I guess our volunteer. I'm going to call them. And whether or not they
Yay.
answer, that'll be different. So
How exciting.
Nope. Did not
Nope.
answer. Did not answer.
Answer, please. Ringy dingy. Mary Jo still uses Skype for work. There you go.
Yeah.
It's not just us.
Yeah. And so here's the thing why we use Skype. It's because with Skype, it's obviously not a great program, but it works with the programs that we use. So that's why we're able to do these remotely with that and such. But I list of numbers in my Skype. Okay, I'm gonna try to call this one if I can copy and paste that. Okay, I'm gonna try calling you.
Answer your Skype, please.
Okay. If we don't get this one,
too bad, so sad.
ADI, can you at least write down your first name so I know this is the person I'm calling?
There you go. So you're not randomly cold calling.
Yeah.
Someone on Skype. Hello?
And if we don't get it,
it's all good. It's all good.
Wait. Okay. Wait. And wait. No, we have to.
This suspense.
Okay. Yep.
Is...
I was gonna say we're gonna move on to Shannon next, but ADI got back to us. You'll have to.
Yay.
We're gonna go here now.
There we go. How exciting!
Hi.
Hi.
Yay!
Oh my gosh, this is so exciting.
Okay, let me get back to here. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are y'all?
Not too bad. Can you tell us how to pronounce your name? Ayaka?
Yes, Ayaka.
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 Okay.
Oh, it's a beautiful name.
Thank you.
It is.
Oh my gosh, this is so exciting.
Yeah. Well,
Are you at work right now?
Yes.
well,
we'll keep it down.
Yeah. We'll keep it
I mean,
brief.
nobody's here.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's okay.
What do you do?
I am in consulting, tech consulting,
Excellent.
but I sneak a watch on this show and the Tuesday show all the time
Okay.
while I'm
awesome.
working.
Okay. Very cool. And yeah. Well, thank you for joining us here. We could just talk real quick, or we can do our question and answer thing that we've done when we've done this a couple other times before. I'll leave that up to you because I know you're working.
Oh, it's all good. Actually, no, I just wanted to point out, I've been in the chat a couple times. I'm the one person from Japan that was in the chat before. I was working in Japan for 5 years, and then and then I came back right before the pandemic. But there was that one time during the Thanksgiving marathon show where Rhino was like, "There's the one person in Japan." I was like, "That's me."
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Yeah, I remember that too. So because it blows my mind. I think that was the furthest anyone watched. I mean, technically we have Australia too, but I feel like Japan's further. Maybe, yeah, it would have to be further because if you fly from the West Coast, it's even further than Australia.
Yeah, but from Japan to Australia was a long flight too. So
Wow.
Everything's far.
Yeah.
But yeah, I actually started watching you guys because we had a chance to go to Florida for a company event, and I was like, I'm swinging by Disney World.
That is great.
Yeah. So are you more Disney World in Florida, or are you a Disneyland person?
I originally am from California, so I'm a Disneyland person.
Okay.
Went to Disney World for the first time now 3 years ago, which is hard to say because last year was, but yeah.
Right. I completely get that. So
almost like it didn't even happen, or it happened for way too long. It's overstayed its welcome.
Yeah, absolutely. We're talking about doing our holiday party, and I'm like, it's December already. What is happening?
Crazy. It's just
Crazy.
crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is going to be a little bit different because I am going to ask you the Disney 7 questions. I'm surprised I still have this pulled up on here.
Ooh, okay. Okay.
um,
Yeah.
okay. What's your favorite Disney park? Any of them?
Ooh. To I give multiple answers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Sure.
For nostalgia, like family, going out with family, Disneyland, because I've been there so many times with my family. But for drinking, Disney Sea is the best.
Oh, Disney Sea.
Oh.
Yes,
What?
in Tokyo.
Why?
There is a beer stand everywhere, and so you can drink. There's also, so I don't know if you guys know the drinking culture in Japan is you eat, you drink, you eat, you drink. So snacks on point, drinking on point. So by the end of the day, a lot of drinking.
Wow. See, here when you said the whole drinking thing, I was like, okay, she's gonna say Epcot, and so you floored me with the Tokyo Disney Sea.
Yes.
Just another reason why I'm jealous that I've never been.
Yes, I'm excited for you guys to go. I'm like, you guys need to go.
One day.
That's awesome.
Literally 2020 was supposed to be the year. Like Rhino and I were talking about how we'd make it work. We'd go to Super Nintendo World and
Yes.
like just go all out with it, and that
Right?
little pandemic that happened.
And womp womp.
But okay. Question
Wow.
2. What's your favorite Disney ride? And you can have multiple answers. We'll allow it.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
I love the Roger Rabbit ride.
Cartoon spin?
That one, yeah. That one, it freaked me out when I was a kid, but that was my fave. Also, oh shoot, I can't remember the name of it, but the one at Disney Sea where it's Autopia but on water.
Oh,
That
the
one?
little boats.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I've seen them, but obviously never done
Yeah.
them.
It's better if you're a little. It's so much better when you're like that, but yeah.
You were just
Those
the
two are my
best.
fave. Oh, thank you.
So great. I want you to write an article, a guide to Disney Sea. That would be great.
Yeah.
And just give us your top tips.
And I mean, the parks in Japan are insane. They also have these events for people with a specific credit card where they do like private events at night, and those are the best because there's no lines. So yeah, it was a lot of drinking that night too. But
it's a magical place, Craig.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie. All this drinking talk. Is it acceptable to drink at 3:00 in the afternoon? Because
it's 5:00 somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It may be by the time I'm finished with work. So, okay. Here's a big one. Question 3. What is your favorite restaurant? Probably one that has drinks.
I think. Where did we go in Epcot? There was tells you how much because I was drinking in Epcot too. There was we were in the French pavilion, and a friend of mine was like, we need to get some French onion soup, and we were there.
So probably Chefs de France then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that was amazing. Added by the fact that we were drinking. But yeah, I think that's where I'm going now in my mind.
Okay.
That
Chefs de France is great.
Yeah, it's a solid choice.
It is.
I love Chefs de France.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it was.
What?
And
oh no!
Can I just add?
Yes,
it
please.
was. We went there in January, and and I was like, oh, it's Florida. We're gonna need shorts, tank tops, and it was cold AF.
Yes.
So it was 3 of us. We had the same hoodie on because we were like, it's so cold. We need to buy something right now. And we all wore the same hoodie the whole time. It was really bad.
Oh My gosh, that is great. I mean, I'm assuming
is.
you are somewhere where it's cold now with that giant sweater. You don't have to give away your
Yes.
location, but it's
Oh, I'm
cold
in
there.
Portland. It's cold.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Portland. Okay.
Portland
Yeah. So
nestled.
we were very excited for
Yeah.
Florida, but it was cold.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah, no, it does absolutely get cold in January. We have our moments
Yes.
here for sure.
it was
So,
48
Yeah.
degrees this morning.
yes, it was
Yeah.
Oh
out
my
of
gosh.
nowhere.
Yeah. It was wonderful. So I was chilly.
Must be.
Yeah. And now it's already back down to 64 now, so I'm gonna make some nice bison chili tonight. It's gonna be delicious.
Oh,
Yeah.
fancy,
So-
Craig.
Taking care of the bison problem. There's just too many of them out there.
Just too many.
So
You humanitarian, you.
thank you. What's your favorite hotel?
Ooh. I love walking through the Grand Californian. The big fireplace.
Yeah.
And this was like a far memory into my childhood. But I think they had carolers there, and it was during Christmas. This was a long time ago, so I don't. Somebody was singing. Maybe it was a guest that took over, but somebody was singing. So
I've been there multiple times at Christmas, and I feel like you're right. I feel like I remember carolers in there, but
mhm.
now I'm also like, because I know the piano guy's in there, and he'll play piano,
Yeah.
Christmas songs, but I do feel like I've seen carolers there too. I'm just
Yeah,
trying to
and
think.
this was,
Yeah.
I think, when they still had the tortilla factory in California Adventure.
right.
So we would hang out in the lobby and then trot over to California Adventure with the sourdough and the tortilla factory and eat
Nice.
our carbs.
Mary Jo will
I'm
let us know
hungry.
in here if we're right on this about
Yeah.
carolers. She's that's why she's here to help fill us in on the
Right?
Right.
Disneyland stuff.
She knows all the things, but it would make sense that they would because they bring in caroling groups here at the
Mhm.
resorts during Christmas. I have friends who are part of a caroling group who get called in every Christmas season. So
We have the
yeah,
answer.
Awesome.
so it would make sense.
The carolers do roam all three hotels at Disneyland.
There it is.
So
Mary
Look at that.
Jo.
coming in with the clutch answer. Um,
Yeah.
Okay. Since you've only been to Walt Disney World once, right?
Yes.
Okay. So this one isn't as great of a question for you, but what is your favorite mode of transportation at a Disney resort?
I actually really liked the bus. It was very, very smooth for us, but we were leaning a lot and drinking.
Oh
So,
no, we're out of time.
yeah. Oh no.
I'm not going to hold the bus against you. I just don't like them.
Granted, you get used to a lot of public transit in Tokyo, so we were like, "Oh, this is very nice. It's okay. It's not too
Okay.
bad."
Okay.
Good for you.
I'm okay
Yeah.
because you gave the extra example with Tokyo.
Yes.
So you're back on my good side here.
Thank God.
So you lived in Tokyo, you did the Tokyo parks and such. So that's on a
Yeah.
lot of our bucket lists for at least domestic people. But what's on your Disney bucket list? Is there a park you haven't hit yet? Have you done DCL, ABD, something like that?
My bucket list is the ABD, the one where they do the California parks.
Backstage
I'm blanking on
Magic.
the name.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, that is. Every time I'm like, okay, I get to take some time off. I'm like on the site, and I'm like, can I get a quote? So that's what I'm doing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, that's a good choice. Getting to go to the Jim Henson Studios and seeing there, and then Walt Disney Studios, and then eventually traveling to Disneyland. It's a very cool trip. So I hope you get to
Yeah.
do it one day.
Yes, and I listened back to the ABD podcast, not the ABD podcast, the episode on the Dreams podcast, and I'm like, no, right now.
Yeah.
So
It's a good bucket list one to have.
yeah.
I agree with that. What's your favorite Disney memory? You can't remember any of them. You're always drinking. No, I'm kidding.
They're all very fuzzy.
Well, this was when I was drinking, but this was my friend's first time going to an American Disney park, and we were in the Magic Kingdom, and Happily Ever After was going off. She's bawling her eyes out, and she's like, "It's so beautiful," and I'm sure she was drunk as well, but she's just like, "It's so beautiful," and it was the best. So watching her watch Happily Ever After was the best.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love that experience of sharing it with someone who's never seen it before or done
Yep.
it before, and
Yes.
seeing the actual visceral reaction as it happens. It's pretty special. However, then
Yeah.
I hate when I do that with my wife, and I'm like waiting for that reaction and it never comes. And I'm like, oh, how disappointing.
All right.
Oh dear.
Great. Thank you. Thank you for not sharing in my excitement for you to see this thing.
Yes.
Oh.
Well, what you'll find in the Japan parks is people will applaud after the fireworks. Like they will sit there and applaud, and I'm like, that's a little nuts as well.
Yeah. Oh,
So
you're just making me
context.
more jealous. But no, that's great. That is great. Okay. And the wild card question of it's technically the 8th out of the 7 Disney questions, and this is the toughest one. Who is your favorite Diz Unplugged team member?
Ridiculous question.
Oh my gosh. I love you all.
But you have to pick. You
But-
have to pick.
And it's okay.
I'm hugging you all. But
Thank you.
I just say Rhino
Mhm.
is yes.
That's perfect. You're allowed to.
But
Yeah.
it's
Rhino
a
is
small
always-
blip above everyone else.
That's
And
awesome.
I love you, Denny, and I love you, Craig.
No.
This is
I mean,
Love
we
you
love you
too.
now. So-
Oh,
thank you.
absolutely. You are our friend. And Rhino is always the right answer. Always.
Mhm. Yeah.
him shopping is not good
Yes.
for my shopping addiction. It's what I found.
His
That's
commentary is the best, the literal
Yeah.
best.
Yeah.
So,
That is absolutely
Yeah.
fantastic. But okay, I think we're gonna wrap up this Patreon after
Yeah.
show. Ayaka, don't go anywhere. Just stay here
Oh.
this second because we want to say goodbye to you off this live stream. So thank you to all our Patreon supporters. We appreciate your support, obviously, and the everything you put towards this, and you're watching everything that we do, and we appreciate you so much. So thank you. And hey, maybe you'll be the next person on here one day. It
Yay!
could be
So much
you. So thank you very much. And, as always, leave comments on everything we post on Patreon so you can tell us what content you want that's better for you to make you enjoy it a little bit more. So, but thank you so much. And
Sure.
we truly hope everyone has a great Thanksgiving if you're
yep,
celebrating
love
it.
you.
Yep.
Take care.
Yeah. So goodbye. We'll see you next week.
Happy Thanksgiving.